On the open ocean, a purple sail rises above the waves. It looks delicate, almost beautiful, like a tiny glass ship drifting under the sun. But beneath that sail, danger trails through the water. Long blue tentacles hang below the surface, nearly invisible to swimmers until it is too late. One touch can cause burning pain. Yet this creature is not truly a jellyfish. It is something even stranger, a floating colony. Many specialized living parts working together as one. This is the Portuguese Man O War, a creature that looks like a single animal, but is actually a living alliance. A sail, a trap, a stomach, a weapon system, all drifting together across the sea. To understand the Portuguese Man O War, we must begin with the float. This gas-filled bladder sits above the water, shining purple, blue, and pink in the sunlight. From a distance, it looks harmless, almost like a piece of colored glass. But the float is not decoration. It is a sail. The wind pushes it across the surface. Currents guide it from below. This creature does not choose its path like a fish. It travels by surrendering to wind and water. That seems passive. But passivity is part of its strategy. The open ocean is vast. Food can be scattered. Instead of chasing prey, the man of war becomes a drifting trap. Below the float hang long tentacles. They can stretch several meters beneath the surface, sometimes even longer. These tentacles are armed with microscopic stinging cells loaded with venom. When a small fish touches them, the trap fires. Tiny harpoons inject venom into the prey. The fish is paralyzed. The tentacles pull it upward toward the feeding parts of the colony. The Portuguese Man O War does not need to swim after food. It lets the ocean bring food into its net. This is hunting without pursuit. A floating snare beneath a beautiful sail. But the most surprising fact is this. The Portuguese Man of War is not one animal in the usual sense. It is a siphonophore, a colony made of specialized units called zooids. Each zooid has a job. Some form the float. Some capture prey. Some digest food. Some help with reproduction. Alone. These parts cannot live as separate animals, but together, they become one drifting organism. This challenges how we define individuality. Is it one animal, or many animals cooperating so completely that they seem like one? The answer is both strange and beautiful. It is a colony that functions as a body. a community so integrated that it becomes a creature. The man of war is not just a predator. It is a living system, a floating city of specialized parts. Its name comes from an old warship. The raised float reminded sailors of a sail from a Portuguese vessel, a tiny warship drifting across the waves. But unlike a ship, it has no captain. Wind pushes the sail. Currents move the tentacles. Storms can gather them near beaches. Calm days can scatter them across blue water. Their path is written by forces larger than themselves. This is why they sometimes appear suddenly on shorelines. A beach may seem safe in the morning. Then purple floats appear along the sand, each one still dangerous to touch. Even after washing ashore, the tentacles can sting. The venomous cells may still fire. A dead-looking creature can still cause pain. This is why people are warned not to touch them. The beauty is real, but so is the danger. The sting is not designed for human. It evolved to capture prey and defend the colony. Small fish are the intended victims, but humans can drift into the same trap. A tentacle wraps around skin. Stinging cells fire along the contact line. Pain can be immediate and intense. Red marks may appear like lashes. In rare cases, reactions can be serious. But fear should not become hatred. The man o' war is not attacking people with intention. It has no brain like ours. It does not chase swimmers. It simply drifts with its trap extended. Contact triggers the weapon. The result feels personal, but biologically, it is automatics. This makes the Portuguese man o' war both frightening and fascinating. A creature without a central mind, yet organized enough to float, feed, defend, and reproduce. It shows that intelligence is not required for complexity. Coordination can arise through specialization. Many parts doing one job together. Like organs in a body, or crew members on a ship. The float sails. The tentacles hunt. The feeding structures digest. The reproductive parts continue the lineage. Together, they create a drifting predator. One that does not need fins. One that does not need eyes like a shark. One that does not need a brain like an octopus. It survives through design, through venom, through drifting, through the power of being more than one. The ocean is full of individuals, but the man of war reminds us that life can blur boundaries. Where does one organism end? Where does the colony begin? In this animal, the answer is not simple. The colony is the creature. The creature is the colony. And the sea carries it all. Its color makes it look almost unreal. Blue like deep water. Purple like storm clouds at sunset. Transparent at the edges, like glass. Above the surface, it reflects light beautifully. Below the surface, its tentacles become almost invisible. This contrast is part of its power. Above, attraction. Below, threat. A bright sail and a hidden weapon. The Man O War turns the boundary between air and sea into a habitat. Part of it rides above the water. Part of it hunts below. Few animals live quite like this. Neither fully swimmer nor fully drifter. Neither single animal nor simple group. Neither jellyfish nor ship, yet resembling both. This is why it captures imagination. A creature that feels invented, but is completely real. Imagine a calm beach after a windy night. The sand is bright. The water looks inviting. Then someone notices a purple bubble near the tide line. Then another. Then dozens, scattered like glass ornaments across the shore. The beauty draws people closer, but the warning is invisible. Tentacles may trail across the sand, broken, tangled, and still dangerous. A child may think it is a toy. An adult may think it is harmless after death. But the stinging cells can remain active. This is why respect matters. Do not touch it. Do not step on it. Do not assume beauty means safety. The ocean often hides sharp lessons in soft shapes. But again, this is not evil. It is simply a defense and feeding system still working. A biological machine made of living parts. Beautiful. Automatics. Dangerous. In open water, the story feels different. A man of war floats alone beneath a huge sky. The wind presses against its sail. Small waves lift and lower the float. Below, the tentacles drift like blue threads. A small fish swims too close. Contact happens. The stinging cells fire. The fish freezes in the water. Slowly, the tentacle draws it in. The colony feeds. No chase. No eyes tracking prey. No jaws snapping shut. Just contact, venom, and current. This is a different kind of predation. One that turns drifting into hunting. And weakness into reach. The Man O War cannot swim strongly, but its tentacles extend its influence far below. The float is small. The danger is large. Some animals, however, can live near this danger. Certain fish may shelter among the tentacles, avoiding the worst of the sting. The deadly colony becomes a floating refuge. In the ocean, danger can also create shelter. Predators may avoid the tentacle forest. Small companions use that fear as protection. This is the complexity hidden beneath the float. The Man O War is predator, shelter, and hazard at once. Not just a warning sign on a beach. Not just a painful memory for swimmers, but a real participant in the surface ocean. It feeds, it drifts, it reproduces, it shelters other life. And it reminds humans that the ocean is not designed for our comfort. The sea is full of beauty that does not ask permission to be dangerous. Coral can cut, stonefish can sting, blue-ringed octopuses can kill, and the Man O War can burn with a touch. But danger does not remove wonder. It deepens it. Because the more we understand, the more extraordinary the design becomes. A sail above, a net below, a colony within, a predator without pursuit, a creature made from cooperation. This is one of the ocean's stranger answers to survival. The Man O War does not fight the current. It uses it. It does not swim after prey. It waits for prey to enter its reach. It does not rely on a single body. It becomes many bodies acting as one. Imagine it at sunset. The float glows purple against orange light. Waves lift it gently. The sail leans with the breeze. Below, tentacles trail through fading blue. A small fish flashes nearby. The trap waits. The colony has no face, no eyes watching, no mind planning. Yet the system works. It has worked across generations, across storms, across currents, across vast tropical and subtropical seas. Fragile in one way, deadly in another, dependent on wind, powerful through touch, alone above the water, many beneath the surface. This contradiction defines it. A colony that appears solitary, a drifter that catches prey, a beauty that injures, a warning wrapped in color. Somewhere now, one is crossing the sea. Its float rides the surface. Its tentacles hang in the blue. Wind decides the direction. Water decides the speed. Prey decides the moment. Contact decides the outcome. The colony continues. Not as a jellyfish. Not as a single simple animal, but as one of the ocean's strangest collaborations. Above, sunlight glows through the sail. Below, venom waits in blue threads. The sea carries both beauty and pain. That is the lesson of the Portuguese Man of War. Do not judge the ocean by the surface. Do not assume soft means safe. Do not assume one body means one life. The Portuguese Man O War is a floating paradox. A sail without a captain. A colony without a city. A predator without a chase. A beautiful warning drifting across the waves. The Portuguese Man O War is the ocean's deadly floating colony.